Hello there everyone, this is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I'm Stephanie and today's reading is about what kind of partner your person would be. This can be for people who are either already in a connection and it might just be early on and you want to see what kind of partner your person will be. Those of you who have a crush or a person of interest and you want to see what kind of person they would be in a relationship, or maybe just to have fun with, people you know and to see what kind of partner they may be for somebody else, maybe other than you. But regardless of what your situation is, we have 4 piles here. We have pile 1 with the flower agate, pile 2 with this orange calcite heart, pile 3 with pink rose quartz, and pile 4 with garnierite. So take your time to choose your pile and I'll be ready for you whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose this flower agate, then we have your reading here for you today about your person and what kind of partner they would be. So we're going to start with some oracles and then we're going to get into the tarot to see what else we can figure out about your person. The oracles will be their personality and the tarot will be how they interact with you and maybe others as well. But I'm getting called to talk a little bit about the flower agate. I actually don't know much about it, but the vibe I'm getting from the actual stone is somebody who's very peaceful and calm and kind of sees the beauty in a lot of things, whether that's nature, whether that's, small situations. I feel like they can really make an adventure out of anything, or like a story out of anything. Like they're just full of wonder. The way they view life is definitely through a lens of childlike love or childlike wonder. I just keep hearing wonder and beauty, so I'm sorry if I'm using that word a lot, but yeah, that's what I'm getting from the stone and your person's energy. But let's move on with the card you chose. We have Sea Otter, happiness. Be the master of playful living. Release expectations and enjoy every day. Let worry go and instead choose love. Surrender to the waves. Your good destiny of love is sure. So yeah, very playful vibes from your person. Let's move on to the rest of the oracles. We have Neptune, Aries. I'm hearing Pisces, Aries cusp, so the month of March, that's when that is. They may have been born during March. We have change. Yeah, lots of childlike wonder, because even this is a, a little carousel horse and a balloon. Wings of light, becoming something new. And boundaries. You need to set better boundaries. Keep your energy balanced and protected. If needed, spend some time alone. It's okay to say no. So yeah, there's such a childlike wonder about your person, pile 1. And even though I am getting a bit of a Pisces and Aries from these 2 cards, I'm also getting Gemini with wings of light, because I'm thinking of like Mercury's wings. Specifically, what is Gemini? Gemini doesn't have wings. It's the twins. But for whatever reason, the wings to me remind me of Gemini. I guess because birds are their animal. And becoming something new. It's that need for newness, that needing to shift energies quite a lot. Which is also a Pisces thing and Aries, because Aries do get bored quite easily. But this isn't to mean that your person gets bored easily. It's more like they enjoy change, as is said with this card. They really do like excitement and newness, more so because they like to experience a lot, not because they feel bored or stuck, though that can be the case sometimes. It's more like they understand that change is a necessary factor in life, and that's how they grow. That's how they get out of stagnant energy or things that hold them back. With boundaries here, I feel like they do have trouble setting up boundaries with other people sometimes. Not necessarily you, though that might be the case. I'm hearing that if they do enter a relationship, they do have trouble setting boundaries because they kind of let the relationship consume them, or they would allow your problems to become their problems. So it's both good and bad. Like good because you'll have a partner on your team. I'm hearing that you'll be a team, much like the otters, which I'll get into in a minute. but also bad because they kind of need to take time out for themselves, especially if they are Pisces with Neptune here. Pisces needs a lot of time to recharge by themselves because they take on a lot of energy from others. So if they are a Pisces or have a very strong Neptune, which will give them this Pisces-like quality to them, they definitely need to set those boundaries and to spend time alone to recharge and to really figure out what is them and what is, you know, everything else. With Sea Otter and Happiness here, I was saying that they would be part of your team, and I'm thinking of how otters sleep with holding their hands so that they don't drift apart. I really feel like there's somebody who is going to really hold on to this connection as much as they can. There's somebody who really devotes themselves, like once they are in a connection, because I don't see them entering any kind of connection very easily. There's somebody who takes the time to really feel it out. There's not, this is gonna sound bad, but there's not much thinking involved. It's more like, does this feel right? They really rely on their emotions, their gut feeling, and their intuition, regardless of whether they are intuitive or not. Though I am feeling like they are with this Neptune card, but some of them may not be as intuitively developed as you, for example, pile 1. And some may just have like that very subtle intuition that's kind of always there. It's just a gut feeling, essentially, depending on what's going on with them. With the Sea Otters too, especially in this card, they're definitely a family person and also a community person, because if you look, there's a little baby otter here that they're holding on to. So if you do end up being committed long term, they may want children. But I'm also noticing these puffins. I feel like they're also very drawn to their community. Like they're okay. They're okay. They want to be okay with their neighbors. They're okay with, you know, doing neighborhood things. They don't mind being part of, you know, the neighborhood, essentially. Like they care about their friends, their family, the people around them. And again, this is why I'm talking about boundaries, because maybe they allow their neighbors to interfere with them too much, or maybe they lend out their things a bit too much, or they may offer their services a lot. Like, for example, they see their elderly neighbor needs, I don't know, the lawn mowed. They're going to go over and help them and ask and be like, hey, do you want me to mow your lawn? Or maybe to lend out certain things to their neighbors. This is where they have to draw certain boundaries. But I'm also noticing pink. And for me, pink symbolizes two separate things. One is the high heart chakra, which is where we have compassion, and that's where I get that sense of compassion from your person to everybody around them. But I'm also getting it's been said that when women are pregnant, that they glow kind of pink, like their aura becomes pink. So again, that family that they would like to have in the future. And this is like far off future. I'm not getting somebody who is wanting to start a family just yet, for whatever reason. Some might, but for the majority of you, it's not quite yet. It depends on where they are in life and like how old they are. But I lost my train of thought because I was going to say something else. But yeah, there is this childlike wonder, and even though there's a lot of pink here, don't think this is anything to do with gender. This is just, think of like cotton candy. Pink is more of a childlike color as well. Like even with women or people who identify as women, we don't wear pink as much. As we get older, we tend to wear it way more when we are younger. So this is just that childlike quality. For some people, maybe the Barbie movie had a big impact on them as well, because there is so much pink. So I did say they could be a Pisces, Aries, or Gemini, and if none of those signs match, they could just have those planets or those signs very prevalent in their chart, specifically Neptune, because even though it does rule Pisces, it also rules intuition, imagination, and dreams. So they might have a dreamy like quality about them. As far as physical appearance, there's something between like very dreamy looking, like almost like if you look at their face, they just look like they're always dreaming, or there's something about them that's very ethereal. but I'm also getting rather strong features. So a combination of strong features with ethereal nature, especially with Aries here, who are known for having a very attractive face, or a very prominent face. Like it's a face that's hard to ignore, but also really good eyebrows. Like their brow line, maybe they just have nice eyebrows, or very strong, thick eyebrows. Like their eyebrows are just really attractive. It's interesting that this Aries card also has like the third eye highlighted. So I really do feel like they might be naturally intuitive, and whether they use this muscle of intuition is up to them or not. Because I'm feeling like all kinds of levels of intuition here. So it's there, but for some people it'll be really strong, and others it won't be quite as strong. They might also be year of the horse, because we do have this pony here, but they might be like a rather childlike year of the horse, if that makes sense. For example, I'm also year of the horse, and people describe me to have childlike qualities as well. So even though year of the horse is known for being strong and independent, there might be something about them that is still very not quite those qualities. I don't want to say weak and childish, but more like a very subtle sweetness to them. I think sweetness is the right word. With Wings of Light becoming something new, this correlates with change, because I really feel like they don't mind reinventing themselves every now and then, especially to fit a certain goal that they want to reach, or to, you know, obtain what they want in life. There is definitely a lot of a lot of drive in their energy. They definitely, with Aries here as well, they like to act, they like to reach for new things. They're always they have ambition, they have goals that they want to achieve. They want to get the most out of life, is what I'm hearing, especially with this card riding on this balloon. I feel like they're always out there searching for their next adventure, or for that thing that is going to give them life, whatever that may be. It doesn't necessarily have to be an actual adventure, like, I don't know, going up a mountain or something. It could just be like, maybe they want to have a new job, start a business, a family in some cases, which is its own adventure. Maybe they want to move somewhere, or explore, or travel. They always want to be doing something. And I feel like this is where this change comes through, where they're a little bit restless sometimes. Like they just always feel the need to be stimulated very subtly. Like it won't be like every day is a new adventure. It's more like every month or every year something new and different has to happen, or they will just, you know, I'm hearing either die of boredom, which is a bit dramatic, because they don't get bored easily, but they can die of boredom, if that makes any sense. Or they'll go crazy, or in some cases they'll get a little melancholy. I'm hearing like it's like a caged up animal. Like they're not meant to be in a zoo caged up. They're not meant to be in cages. They're meant to roam wild and free. And sometimes they come back to, you know, where their birthing grounds are, or where they naturally reside, but they also like to explore. That's the vision I'm getting right now of a animal that is meant to be free, which makes sense because you have a lot of animals in this spread. They might like animals. They might want to keep goats as well, even though this is a ram, or sheep as well. So they might want to keep goats or sheep if they are the kind of people who want to have like a farm. That won't resonate for everybody, but some people, I'm just hearing that they appreciate sheep for whatever reason. Or they could be year of the sheep as well with the ram. Maybe on that cusp of year of the horse and year of the ram, which would be, depending on the year, either January or February. And February resonates with Pisces as well. So some numbers that we're picking up, we have 26. So somebody could be 26, or the year 26 could be of importance to them, like the year that they were 26. We have 1, and then we have 42. So again, maybe the age 42 is going to be of importance. Or they could be a life path 6, because 4 plus 2 reduces down to 6 in numerology, and likewise 2 plus 6 reduces down to 8 in numerology. So 8 or 6 could be of importance, as well as 1. As far as chakra energy coming through. I already spoke about pink, but I'm also getting blue, of course. So I feel like they are quite a gifted speaker. I'm not hearing that they talk a lot, but when they do speak, they have a lot of wisdom. With the vision and happiness here, there is a lot of wisdom within your person. And with yellow here, confidence, and with red, groundedness. I feel like they need to be more grounded because it's there but not enough. Or maybe they have trouble staying grounded. Or if they don't, maybe they finally learned how to become grounded after years of realizing that groundedness is something that they have trouble with. But anything else that is coming through? For some reason, Iceland is coming through because I did talk about sheep and I did talk about puffins, and those are both animals native to Iceland. Maybe they just appreciate the country, or maybe they have Nordic roots. All right, let's move on to the tarot because my beautiful dear pile 1, your person seems like such a sweet person, such a sweet and lovable person. We're going to use the Prism Tarot. It's my new favorite deck and I love it. So how would pile 1's person relate to them in a relationship? We have, oh, okay, the 9 of Cups with emotional stability. Oh, that's nice. We also have the 7 of Swords, scarcity mentality. We have the Tower, upheaval. In pile 1, we have 3 of Pentacles, collaboration, and the Hierophant, unlearn. Oh, and then back of the deck energy, 10 of Pentacles, legacy. And then to clarify these, we have Tarot of the Divine. So to clarify the 9 of Cups, we have the 3 of Cups. To clarify the 7 of Swords, we have 4 of Wands. To clarify the Tower, we have the Chariot. Making sure they're in the shot. And to clarify 3 of Pentacles, we have the Moon. And to clarify the Hierophant, we have the Page of Wands. Yeah, a lot of restless energy here. And back of the deck energy. No, we're good. Okay. So let's start off with the 9 of Wands, emotional stability, and 3 of Cups here. I really feel like they're going to be a very emotionally sensitive partner. They're going to be somebody who really cares about how you feel. Like I'm hearing they're going to ask you regularly how you're feeling, how your day is, and even like momentarily check up on you, especially if you're somebody who deals with a lot of like mental health issues, or if you have like a specifically hard day or a hard time with whatever is going on in your life. They're going to be somebody who checks in on you in a way that is very playful, I'm hearing, with the 3 of Cups. So they're not going to try to bother you about it, but it's more like they're going to try and lift your spirits here. Because even though the 3 of Cups usually means like a celebration or community, friendships, to me it's the party card. In this case, I'm hearing that it's going to be a very lighthearted way that they approach you with your emotions, because they want you to be feeling well. Especially if they are intuitive, I feel like they're aware that everybody's energies affects everybody else. So especially if you live together, they're going to be very sensitive to your energy. And in that case, you're going to want to clear up any negative emotions or any emotions that can be smoothed out right away, just so that you don't bring in, you know, too much melancholy or too much sadness or any kind of negative emotion that could impact the both of you. So it's not just them trying to keep, you know, good vibes around. It's them trying to make sure that you can both benefit from good energy, from to not let emotions stagnate within your home or within the connection. With the 7 of Swords and the 4 of Wands, scarce mentality. The 7 of Swords deals with loss, specifically, well, not loss, more like trickery and thievery, lies essentially. But with the Four of Wands here, I really feel like they can sense deception rather well, and especially within you, pile 2. So this is just like a warning that if you ever try to hide anything from them or lie to them, they're going to know right away, especially because they are so connected to you. And likewise, I feel like you'll be able to tell when they're not being honest as well, because it goes both ways. With the Four of Wands here, this is again a celebration, but I'm really feeling that you two will be able to handle any kind of baggage, any kind of negativity, any kind of weird emotions. You'll be able to handle it with such a lightheartedness and such a feeling of expertise. I don't know why that's coming through, expertise. Like maybe one or both of you may be in the psychology field, or maybe have studied psychology. So you know how to handle difficult emotions. You know how to handle certain mentalities that are not healthy. And with the Four of Wands here, it's almost like they're kind of grateful that there is somebody that gets them, and likewise that you get them as well. But there is this feeling that if they ever feel you're going down a wrong path mentally, in terms of negative emotions, they're going to try and set you right, especially if they feel that you are not, if they feel you are not seeing the picture entirely. Like maybe, like they may point out to you that something might be in your head and that this is the reality of it, but not in a way that is, not in a way that it is going to feel patronizing. It's more like, let's say you're mad at somebody at work or in your friend group or whatever it is, and you start telling a story and you just say, oh, well, they did this to me. And then your partner will come in with, well, I don't think that's how they meant to come off. I think this is what was going on, and that's why they reacted this way or acted this way. So I really do feel like they try to make a lot of sense, and a lot of, they bring a lot of logic to the ways that you handle certain disagreements or certain deceptions, if that makes sense. Because with the Four of Wands here, I'm seeing two people who are so glad they found each other, and one of the reasons will be, if you decide to get into a connection with this person, is that they really bring perspective to your problems or to your challenges. And some of you might already be friends. I'm getting the feeling that, especially if you're not already in a connection together, you might at least be speaking to this person. I feel like you are already aware of some of these things because they already speak to you in this way. That's not going to be everybody, but for those of you who are already speaking to this person as a friend or as a platonic connection, and you're just trying to check whether this person would be a good partner or not, I'm feeling that these are things that are already quite prevalent in your friendship. With the Tower, Upheaval, and the Chariot, I feel like any problems you may have, no matter what the level of them, whether it's a small problem or a big problem or unexpected, I feel like all your problems will be resolved rather quickly with a Chariot here. Because the Chariot is a card of moving on, and moving on fast as well. It's a card of speed. And with the Tower, anytime something crazy comes into your life, you'll be able to recover from it rather quickly. And this might just be the luck that the both of you have combined. Like, you two individually may not be the luckiest people, or may not have like the proper solutions, but when you come together, it's almost like you're both able to handle one thing or the other, and therefore you're able to handle stressful situations a lot better than you would if you weren't together. Again, if you're already friends, you probably already know this. Maybe there's somebody who comes to your aid rather quickly, like say your car breaks down or something, or you get a flat. They're the person you call, and they come like within minutes to come help you change out a tire, something along those lines. Or maybe something happens to your house or home, heaven forbid, and they come and help you out somehow. And this will continue into the connection should you decide to pursue it. But I really am feeling, especially with the Three of Pentacles here, that you might already be friends, or maybe even already start dating, like at the very early stages of dating, where you don't know whether you want to commit yet. But with the Three of Pentacles, collaboration, and the Moon, I feel like some of you may be artistically collaborating somehow, if that applies, or when you do work together, it's like your intuitions amplify and you're able to get a lot more stuff done. It's almost like the coming together of you two brings some magical qualities out of you. This is especially true if your person is already quite dreamy and magical themselves, or they already do some kind of intuitive practice. I feel like it just amplifies when the both of you get together with the moon here, because even though the moon can mean shadow work, it can mean hidden feelings, or the darker side of your emotions. With the three of you with the Three of Pentacles here, I'm seeing clarity be brought to this. I'm seeing it's almost like the Three of Cups energy here, but with a lot more, instead of play, it's more work, but it doesn't feel like work, if that makes sense. You work well together, essentially. And I think this is part of the reason you'll be able to handle anything that comes your way with the Tower, the Chariot. It's really quite a lovely connection. And maybe because you're aware that you work so well together, you're wondering exactly if they would be a great partner. And so far, I'm seeing somebody who's very solid, pile of one. With the Hierophant, Unlearn, and the Page of Wands, I still feel like even though you work well together, there's a lot to learn from this person. I'm not getting Unlearn so much because this refers to... the Hierophant traditionally refers to like the patriarchy or hierarchies that, have power over other people. And that's why in the Rider-Waite, it's like the image of a pope. But the way I interpret the Hierophant is the things that you learn, traditions that are passed down. And with the Page of Wands, we have somebody who is starting on their journey to learn certain things, and rather actively with the Wands, but they're not quite there. So I feel like you two learn a lot from each other, whether that's, how to handle your daily lives, your money, your emotions, whatever it may be. You two have a lot to gain from being in a connection together, and you learn a lot from each other. And I feel like that, again, if you're already friends, you already learn a lot from each other as it is. And with the Ten of Pentacles here in the back of the deck energy, this has the potential to be a very long-lasting and fruitful connection. I really do feel I am getting some sense of abundance together, whether that is that you come together and you suddenly make more money, or you just build a long-lasting connection and a long-lasting family, home, what have you, whatever it is that you want to build together, you will have it, and it will be rather long-lasting. I'm also hearing if you celebrate Christmas or any big holiday in your religion, whatever your religion is, your holidays are going to be big, rather big affairs. Like, you're going to want everybody over at your house. If you have a lot of kids, you're going to want all the kids to come over. Just lovely things like that. You're going to have the pets over as well, I'm hearing, to celebrate whatever it is you celebrate. But I was thinking Christmas because of the tree, but it could also be, like I said, any major holiday that you celebrate. And then what's underneath this? Oh, the Empress receive. Yeah, I really feel that either you or your person are going to be in this Empress energy. I feel like the both of you together learned how to receive a lot more, because that Empress energy is the nurturing energy. It's that divine feminine, and regardless of what you identify as, it's that you just feel beautiful and abundant and amazing. And this can go for, again, whether you're a guy or a girl or whatever in between, you can feel this way. You can feel beautiful and abundant and nurturing. And again, if both of you want kids, there is definitely a very fruitful energy out here for you in order for you to have them. But yeah, also your sense of community is going to be rather amplified. So I already got that from your person in the oracles, but I'm feeling like maybe even you will open up to the community. If you're somebody who isn't open to your community, or having a lot of friends, I feel like this person is definitely going to bring that out of you, just so that, I don't know, I feel like you really open up to people a lot more because of your person, should you decide to pursue a connection with them. But this is all very lovely energy. Let me just point out some numbers from my numerologist. We have 9, 7, 16, which reduces to 7, 1 plus 6 in numerology. So 7 twice. We have 3, and 3 twice actually. We have 5, 4, The Chariot 7. So you have 3 sevens here. 777. Maybe that's an important number for you. Or somebody could have been born in July. Or somebody is a life path 7. You might, and again, I've said you might have a lot of luck together because I'm thinking 777, like in a slot machine at the casinos. I think that's a winning number. So you might be just really lucky together, or you may hit the jackpot quite literally. If you do, let me know, because that'd be fun. And then with the moon, we have, is that 18? 18. I double checked because sometimes the decks go by different numbers for whatever reason. So yeah, we have 18 with the moon. You may have known them since you were 18 or 16, if maybe you knew each other since you were teenagers. And of course 10 with the gems, oh sorry, with the 10 of Pentacles here. And as far as, that is all I'm getting from the tarot, my lovely pile one. So let's move on to some closing advice. But it's very lovely energy, very... Some of you may have been friends for a while. Not since childhood, but definitely since like maybe your teens. So we have the Affirmators Love and Relationships deck. Any closing advice on my pile one and their person? We have, okay, we have 2 cards. Oh, we have Commitment. I willingly accept that it's safe to topple my walls and commit completely to a relationship. It might be one that's already here or one that's on the way. Either way, those walls have got to go. Without them, I can go further, feel freer, and love bigger than ever before. Bonus no walls means I'll save a lot of money on picture frames. I'm also getting a sense that maybe finding a home is rather important to both you and your person, because I was seeing a lot of house imagery in the tarot. But also, yeah, commitment is going to be a big thing with this person. They definitely care about commitment. They don't do casual flings or, you know, they don't really, they prefer not to. I feel like they care more about the long haul with people. And compliments. I know how good it feels to get a compliment, so I give that gift to others. I'll find a nice compliment to everyone I interact with today, even if I have to think really hard about it, in which case I can follow up by complimenting myself for solving such a compliment puzzle. Wow, I'm skilled. So I get the feeling that they compliment people a lot, or they compliment you a lot. Like they may say that you look really nice, or that, you know, just things like that. I'm also hearing compliment with an E, which means to complete somebody, to find somebody's other half. So I really feel like this person, I'm not going to say soulmate or twin flame or anything, but they are definitely somebody who can complement you very well, pile one. Not saying that you need anybody to complete you, but if you wanted to, this person would be a rather good fit. And then we're going to be using some cards from my handmade paper, oracle, sayings, whatever it is. It's hard to shuffle, but they're very pretty. And they're also kind of falling apart. So we have gratitude always. Yeah, I feel like the both of you will be very grateful to have each other in your lives. Oh, rose petal fell. And you are love in all that you do. Grow. Yeah, there's a big potential for growth within this connection. And I feel like both of you will be in this absolute energy of love and gratitude. Because you are love in all that you do. I feel like you're going to learn how to do things with intention. Because I was getting a lot of heart chakra vibes throughout this whole reading, really. I was going to say the tarot, but really this entire reading, I feel like this person is going to really teach you how to open up your heart a lot more. And vice versa. I feel like you're also going to be teaching this to them, but in a different way. Like how to defend, well, not defend their heart, but how to not leave it so open for just anybody. That's the people that really matter. But this is all I have for you today, pile one. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope some of this resonated, and if it did, please let me know. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye! Hello there, pile 2. If you chose the orange calcite heart, we have your reading about your person and what kind of partner they would be. So I'm going to start with the orange calcite. I'm getting a lot of sacral chakra vibes and energy, but I'm also getting somebody who's rather optimistic and very happy, but also very confident in the things, in their creativity and in the things that they do. So they may be somebody who is a creative. They may be somebody who I'm hearing likes to dance or just likes to work out. They like to move their body, because I'm feeling a lot of energy in the midsection. Maybe they have a great pair of abs, or a great set of abs. Or maybe they just move around a lot, but I am getting somebody who's very confident in the way they move and in the things they do. So let's move on to the oracle card that you chose. We're going to start with oracles and then move into the tarot. The oracles will describe them as a person, as a partner, and the tarot will describe them in their connection with you, should you decide to be in a connection with them if you already aren't. But let's start with our oracle. We have B, community. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen working of abundance. But it says queen because, of course, bees have a queen bee. So yeah, it's funny that these two cards, actually this crystal too, they all kind of blend together. So I'm going to keep it there. We also have Sagittarius. Yeah, I was feeling a little bit of Sagittarius energy. And what did I say about a pack of abs? Because look at this centaur here, and also the gold everything, really. So that's interesting. We have release. We also have achievement, effort plus intention, and reunion. This card stands for reunion with your family and friends. There is a feeling of harmony and celebration. Significant people from your childhood and or past lives could be coming back into your life for a particular reason. So yeah, a lot of confidence here. Somebody who is very much aware they are the shit is what I'm hearing. Very confident, maybe a little bit of an overinflated ego, but that's not a bad thing, because I feel like you specifically, pile 2, find this very charming. With Sagittarius, they may be an actual Sagittarius, or they may have Sagittarius placements. I'm hearing ascendant, like outer planets Sagittarius, so that could also be okay, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. It could be any of those, because I know especially people in my generation had that, and some Gen Z people will have Pluto and Sagittarius as well. So yeah, strong Sagittarius energy. But I'm also getting somebody just who likes to explore, doesn't take life too seriously. They're very much, they might be hilarious, whether intentionally or not. They don't let a lot of things get them down. With release, I feel like they don't hold on to energies that much. I feel like anytime they have something that bothers them, they let it go rather quickly, or they don't even let it touch them. But I'm also noticing this card is autumn, with the red tree and the leaves falling. So they may have been born in fall, which in the Northern Hemisphere, that would correlate with Sagittarius season, late November to early December. It's still considered fall up here in the Northern Hemisphere. Or they could have been born in the Northern Hemisphere, sorry, in the Southern Hemisphere during fall. And that would be, I think that's Gemini, if I'm doing the math correctly. And I know seasons are different everywhere, even in the hemispheres, so just take that as it resonates. With 49, achievement, effort plus intention, I really do feel like they have achieved quite a lot already. They may be like a child prodigy, like whatever it is they do, maybe they've known their entire lives that they've been good at it, and that's part of where that confidence and ego boost comes from. Whatever this may be, I'm hearing some of them might be martial arts and some of them might be music. But I am, or dance, anything that has to do with body movement. They could even have them like very young bodybuilders, if that's a thing, I'm not sure. Maybe like in their teens they started body, which is weird because I thought there was an age limit on bodybuilding, but I could be wrong. I'm just channeling certain things. I'm also getting Taurus energy here because of this buffalo, and buffaloes are one of the Taurus animals. So they might have a blend of Sagittarius and Taurus together, which Taurus would give them that drive and that stamina, as well as the discipline that it takes to become rather good and amazing. And I can't remember, but I think Tauruses are known for being child prodigies when they're really young. I may have read that somewhere. That could also just be me because I am a Taurus, but I've never been a child prodigy, so I don't know. But yeah, some Taurus vibes from them. So they might be very chill, actually. I feel like they're very, even though they are very confident, they don't really brag about it. They're just confident and aware that they're really good at what they do. Effort plus intention. I really do feel like they set intentions in all the efforts they do, and that's part of their trick to getting the results that they want or need. With reunion here, this may be somebody from your past. So maybe you knew them when you were younger, or maybe you knew them previously and they're coming back into your life, or you may have known them in a past life. So when you meet this person, if you haven't, you will definitely get the sense that you've known them before. There will definitely be like that, like a soul contract I'm hearing, also karmic tie kind of feeling with them. And it may be something they don't say right away. I don't feel like they deal a lot with intuition stuff. They might deal a lot with energy. Like they definitely feel and sound like somebody who meditates or sees the benefits in meditating at least, or maybe yoga. Like they're aware of those things, but when they do meditate or do yoga or whatever it is they do, they don't take on the spiritual aspect of it, though they have the potential to, because Sagittarius can be known for being rather spiritual. But this person in particular may not be there entirely, but they are open to it, especially here with expand. With B, I really do feel they're very powerful and they're not aware. They definitely manifest. Again, they're not aware that they're doing this, and they may even have read up a bit on manifestation and thought, yeah, that's what I do. I don't know why this is new to everybody else. But they definitely manifest certain things. Again, it's that intention plus effort, or effort plus intention, not achievement. And they've been aware of this since they were very young. I feel like they had that download in them whenever they were born. They definitely knew that they were meant for success and that they knew how to reach and achieve success. With bees, I feel like they may, I'm hearing that honey may be like the only sugar that they consume, especially if there's somebody who isn't into like sweets or consuming sugar. Something about honey in their diet is very important. Maybe they put that into like their protein shake or something as their sweetener of choice, or they may support a lot of local honey beekeepers, support their local beekeepers, or they may have thought about being a beekeeper as well. I don't know, something about bees is very important to them. Not so much in the community sense as much as they're aware that they're a very crucial part of our ecosystem and our planet. Because this person is very much tied to Earth. I feel like they appreciate nature and all that it gives us and all that it does. Especially with this tree here, they're aware of how they love trees, and they're also aware of how trees teach us how to be, you know, how to release, how to grow, how to give, how to keep growing despite obstacles, how to keep growing even if they are causing problems. Because I'm seeing like the roots of a tree just like messing up a road or a house or something, because some trees just don't stop growing, and that's that expansiveness that they have. They definitely have a very I don't want to say loud, but definitely powerful energy. Like their aura expands out very wide, and you can feel it. Like especially if you are sensitive to energy, pile 2, you'll know when they're around, because you'll start feeling the signs of when they're around. They may have some native ancestry, and they may actually be kind of dark-skinned, because even this centaur looks rather dark-skinned, or maybe they tan. I say native ancestry because I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Buffalo Woman. I'm pretty sure that's her name. She's a myth and or a goddess in a lot of Native American folktales, who provides a lot for, like she teaches them how to use every part of the buffalo, and she provides for the people, of course. And likewise, especially if this person is abundant, I do feel like they've already made money. Like even though, despite their age, regardless of what age they are, I feel like they have quite a bit of wealth accumulated, and they don't mind sharing that with the people that they care about. Indeed, their community, but specifically, they don't mind providing for others as well. Some numbers that are coming through, 9 twice, because we have 49 and 9. So they may be a life path 9. They could have been born in September if they are not a Sagittarius. And 49, so maybe the age 49 may be important to them if they're already there or if they're yet to be there. 4 plus 9 reduces to, well, 4 in numerology, because 4 plus 9 is 13, 1 plus 3, 4. And another easy way to do that in numerology is if there's already a 9, just get rid of the 9 because it kind of cancels it out in numerology. So they may also be a life path 4. And also the year 9, like the age, the year, whenever they were 9 years old may have been an important year to them, depending on what it is they do and how they've achieved their success. And also with reunion, I feel like family might be important to them. There might be like an annual reunion that they go to every year, whether it's their friends or family, maybe I don't know, some kind of meetup that they go to every year that is of importance. I don't think that has anything to do with you, but that because I'm seeing community again, I'm feeling like they are part of a certain community that they meet up with quite regularly. Maybe not every year, maybe every 5 years. I don't know what it is, but yeah, they meet up with certain people for whatever reason. Maybe if they are like into something like martial arts, they meet up with that group of people every now and then. But this is your person. Yeah, let's move on to the tarot to see how they will relate to you as a partner. So we're going to be using the Prism Tarot. And for my pile 2s, how would their person relate to them in a connection? We have the 10 of Swords with endings, Ace of Wands with inspiration, the 9 of Pentacles with abundance, the 8 of Pentacles with hard work, and the 7 of Swords with scarcity mentality. And at the back of the deck, because I feel it's important, 3 of Pentacles with collaboration. We're going to clarify these with the Tarot of the Divine. So for my pile 2, to clarify the 10 of Swords, we have the Hermit to clarify the Ace of Wands. We have the 9 of Wands to clarify the 9 of Pentacles. We have Queen of Coins, and let me find something to block this because her titties are out. We don't want YouTube coming after us for that. The Queen of Pentacles. To clarify the 8 of Pentacles, we have the Temperance. And to clarify the 7 of Swords, we have the 6 of Coins, or 6 of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of Earth energy. I'm wondering if they are more Taurus and Sagittarius, or maybe also Capricorn, because it's the sign closest to Sagittarius, and they might be on that cusp as well, which would be anywhere in mid to late December. But let's start with the 10 of Swords with endings and the Hermit. So I feel like if you come together, there's going to be an ending of some kind. I usually associate the 10 of Swords with feeling so defeated that there's nowhere to go but up. So I'm feeling this at the beginning of the connection. I feel like either one or the both of you had just come out of something. And again, this is assuming that we're going to go into a connection. So maybe you're not there yet, or how do I say this? If you decide to go into a connection, something has to end. So one or the other of you might be in a certain situation that is not allowing you to come into this connection for whatever reason. But with the Hermit here, it will have been a while. I feel like either one or the both of you will have been healing from something in the past, specifically something that ended, which could be another connection, it could be a job, it could be a lifestyle or a way of being that just was no longer resonating with either of you. More so from your person than you, But I am feeling a little bit of you as well, pile 2. With the Ace of Wands, Inspiration, and the Knight of Wands, I really do feel like it took a little bit to get out of that funk. Again, I'm feeling your person more than you, because I don't feel like they're used to being in this energy of feeling defeated. They're used to being, you know, successful on top of their game. They're used to just having things come easy to them, and when they don't come easy to them, because they are hard workers, so because they work so hard, everything feels like it comes easy. But it's like no matter how hard they worked to get out of this situation, it just felt never ending. It felt like the hardest decision they'd ever had to make, or the hardest thing they'd ever had to go through, with the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Wands here. But at the same time, I feel like they became inspired by that. It's almost like they'd never done anything so difficult, but they see that they're very talented, because, or not talented, but very strong because of this. I really feel like whatever they came out of, you may have helped them get out of this, I'm hearing, because I'm seeing you more as the Hermit, pile 2, because your person may have been in that Hermit energy, but they don't identify as a Hermit. So pile 2, I feel like you may identify more as a Hermit than they do. This was just like a phase for them, as to where you understand that and kind of go into that not quite often, but every now and then, you know, when you need to heal is when you go into Hermit mode, so that you can better release energies you no longer want. But for them, this type of energy was very new to them. They never understood having to let go of something on such a profound level. So whatever it is that they were coming out of, or that they were leaving behind, or that ended, it kind of left them renewed, I'm hearing, but also kind of scarred, or maybe a bit bruised. They're using very physical terms because, again, they live very much in the physical. They're not very spiritual, though they are aware of spirituality, and they definitely respect it. They themselves do not consider themselves spiritual. With the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles here, for some of them, they may have come into money because of whatever this is. It could have been like a lawsuit. It could have been separating from a partner and getting to keep, you know, a certain amount of money or things. And for some of you, I'm hearing that you will be coming into abundance whenever you meet this person. I'm feeling like a matching of economic status. Like you will both be making the same amount of money or very similar. So there's nobody here taking advantage of the other. I feel like both of you manifested it somehow, that you wouldn't want one person to have more money than the other, because in the past, for either you or your person or the both of you, there was some kind of money drama going on. Like maybe one or the both of you had a partner that was taking advantage of the other one monetarily, and maybe one person was like paying for everything and the other person wasn't providing anything. And especially if they were previously married, or if they were in a connection that was very committed, I feel like they may have left them with nothing, or there was just such an imbalance of money that it became a problem that would normally not be a problem for anybody else, but in this case it would. Again, this could be you or your partner. So when you come together, one of you will be in the Nine of Pentacles, very much having abundance, and one of you will be in the Queen of Pentacles, which is nurturing that money. And either way, your mentalities towards finances are going to be very similar. So not one or the other overpowers. One of you will be making slightly more, but it's not going to be so much that there's an imbalance, if that makes any sense. And I don't know why that's coming through, but this is definitely something that you should know should you go into a relationship with this person. You will definitely be seeing each other at like the same places that you frequent, whether that's like, I'm hearing country club for some of you, or maybe just clubs or restaurants or neighborhoods. I feel like you'll be used to going to the same kinds of places. And for some of you, it may be places that aren't so quote quote fancy or expensive. Like maybe the both of you have a lot of money, but you still like to go, you know, get takeout or get drive-through food, like fast food. Like, yeah, you make a lot of money, but you both like your, I don't know, McDonald's or something. And so you will have very similar lifestyles, I'm hearing, ways of spending, ways of gaining money. and ways of saving. This is going to be refreshing for some of you, because I really feel like one person was used to getting, they were used to footing the bill the entire time, and that kind of left them drained, which is rather odd. I typically don't read a lot about this kind of thing, but this is going to be a big thing in this connection for whatever reason. With the Eight of Pentacles, hard work and temperance, I feel like they're taking it easy with their work, because I did say that they've accumulated quite a good amount of money. I feel like they've decided that they need to step back a bit from work, especially if they're a workaholic or if they're somebody who was way too invested in their career. They're deciding that they've reaped enough rewards of their labor that they can relax now and really focus on themselves. They may actually start developing some self-care habits that maybe you bring to them as well, pile 2, because I did say they're not big into spirituality, but maybe you show them a way of like meditating that is more effective, or that will benefit them a lot more. Maybe they realize that they can produce better results when they meditate, whether that's physical, career related, maybe even financial, whatever it may be. I really feel like they're going to start working on their internal selves once they get into a connection with you. And a lot of that will have to do because of you, pile 2. I feel like you're really going to bring this out of them, especially if you do resonate with this Hermit energy. With the Seven of Swords, scarcity mentality, and the Six of Coins, again, I'm just resonating that balancing finances as well as balancing health, because Pentacles can be both health and wealth. There's a reason they rhyme in the English language. So I feel like where they used to be in a scarcity mentality, or maybe you used to be in a scarcity mentality as well, pile 2. I think like the both of you got out of whack in your previous connections or experiences or whatever it was, that there's a sense of bringing balance here with the Six of Coins. This is knowing when to give and when to take, but always keeping that in balance, never taking too much and never giving too much. That's a big thing in this connection, especially with Three of Pentacles here, collaboration. When the both of you come together, you'll be able to create quite amazing things, and you'll definitely be able to learn things from each other as well, pile 2. This is very much a connection that is dealing with like the outside. There's a little bit of spirituality in there, but I feel like the both of you don't really dig too much into it. There is a bit more from you, pile 2, than your person, but it's nothing. It's not going to predominate in your connection. And what's beneath this? Master of Wands, leadership. I feel like this is your person. They do definitely give me a Master of Wands energy. And for some of your people, I feel like they may own their own business. And this might be something you don't really find out until maybe later on in the connection. Like you didn't realize they owned so many businesses, or a business, or that they had so many streams of income. And it may kind of blow you away, like, oh, okay, so you actually make this much money. And even though, okay, so for some of you, maybe you may not make anywhere near as much as this person, but your mentality will definitely be there where you do not take advantage of them just because they have so much money. Not until, you know, there is a much more stronger commitment and you want to start like a family or a home or something about your community. Maybe you want to start a farm and have a lot of animals around. I'm not quite sure. But that won't be something you discuss until like you're actually committed, like wanting to get married and such. So yeah, a lot to do with, I feel like also their standards have significantly increased, and so have yours, pile 2. But you guys meet each other's standards, and it's going to be very refreshing. It's going to feel a little bit, like at first it may feel a little bit like a business negotiation, and I blame this on your person because they're probably more used to this than you. But there's definitely, like, you're going to set a lot of ground rules should you decide to join in this connection. And even on like the first dates or something, I feel like certain things will be discussed, just because there is a little bit of a wound with this 10 of Swords and this 9 of Wands. There's a little bit of a wound there. It's like, well, I want to make sure that I'm getting into something good because I got hurt and got screwed over really bad in my last connection. So let's just see where this is, and let's be a little bit more upfront and honest. That's the energy I'm getting from this connection. There is something to note though, that I don't see a lot of cups. I don't see a lot of emotional things going on. And maybe this is okay with you. Maybe both of you aren't that emotional. Maybe you care more about being secure in terms of material wealth and in terms of physical health as well. There is a bit of nurturing with the Queen of Points here, but again, it's all physical. It's all very, very practical as well, I'm hearing. And maybe some of you, especially if you have a lot of water in your chart, maybe you find this very comforting because while you provide the emotion, your person can provide everything else. So some signs that are coming through, I'm getting Libra with Temperance, with Balance, and I'm getting the Hermit, I'm sorry, Virgo with the Hermit. I'm also getting, again, Taurus is coming through with the Queen of Pentacles because I feel like they're the more nurturing of the earth signs, but also getting Virgo as well because feminine energy with the Virgo sign. So Taurus or Virgo, possibly Capricorn as well. Numbers coming through, we have 9, 10, 1, 8, 7. Well, 9 twice. And 3 and 6, as well as 9. So 9's coming up 3 times. I feel like 9 is an important number for you. And we did have 9 in the oracles as well. So one or the both of you could be life path 9, or if you see 999, this could be a sign about something about this connection. We also have 14 with Temperance. But yeah, 9 is also a number of community, if I remember correctly, because I've known people that are, their life path number was 9. And they definitely seem to care about everybody else around them. Maybe you enter this connection wanting to be more part of your community and wanting to be a better presence in the world for everybody else, especially if you're very used to this Hermit energy. I feel like you really want to come out of that pile too, and maybe this person is the perfect person to bring you out of it and bring you kind of into quote quote reality, especially if you're somebody who doesn't really deal with reality too much, or you kind of like to live in your own world. Not throwing shade there, I know how it feels to want to be in your own world, but sometimes we also have to be part of society. But this is all I am getting from your tarot. So let's move on to some closing advice. I also hear that they're going to make you rather active, pile, too. I'm just letting you know. So if they decide to go for a hike with you, I'm just letting you know they're going to want to take you to like the gym, to outdoors, whatever that is. So just get ready. Get some good sneakers or something. Invest in some good workout clothes. If you already don't, of course. So let's start with some affirmator cards. We have... Funny, the centaur came out again. I wonder if centaur is like a big thing for your person. I really am getting Sagittarius vibes again. Compassion. I choose compassion over criticism. Walking a mile in other people's shoes reminds me they might be going through something tougher than I think. Like their shoes are too tight, or they're the kind of shoes that are too casual to be dressy and too dressy to be casual. Basically, I have no idea what they're dealing with privately, so I'll cut them some slack and be thankful for the shoes I've been dealt. Yeah, I feel like you teach each other to be more compassionate, more you to your person, because your person might be a little bit, they might judge people rather quickly just because, you know, life has come so easily for them. They might be quick to judge others, and maybe they don't seem to understand that everybody's life has been very different from theirs. But it's not a bad thing. It's more like a small quirk of, a small habit of theirs that you might lighten the perspective on. And thoughtfulness. It's time to put your money where your mouth is and have fun showing your love. Think of all the little things you can do to show a person you love them. Then stop thinking of those things and actually do them. Is it time to hide a note in someone's pocket? Maybe, make a snack? Order them a book? Anything thoughtful can be an act of love, even taking the trash out to the dumpster. Unless you're dating the trash, in which case, don't take it to the dumpster, take it somewhere fancy. Wow, who would have thought that being so full of thoughts could be considered thoughtful? So I'm feeling that there is a sense of thoughtfulness when you two come together. I really feel like your person can be thoughtful, and they definitely put their money where their mouth is, and they do show their love with extravagant gifts, or gifts that they may not think are extravagant but actually are. So for example, let's say that they give you like this is just an example. Let's say like after you start dating, they send you this huge bouquet of roses, and then you find out that that bouquet of roses was like, I don't know, hundreds of dollars, and you're like, that's expensive. But to them it wasn't anything. They're like, oh well, whatever, I make 100 within an hour or something. Like that's the kind of thing that's coming through for whatever reason. And likewise, I feel like they're very generous with their gifts and with how they go about doing things. The one thing I am thinking about though is that maybe there are certain things they're not so thoughtful on, like just certain mentalities that they grew up with that they weren't aware were so negative. You might be the person who lets them know that, you know, thinking this way is actually not the best way to think because this and that. I really am getting the feeling of somebody who comes from like a higher economic status, and you're trying to teach them or give them the perspective of people who don't come from, you know, a lot of money. So just things like that. It's not that they're not compassionate or thoughtful. It's more like you're kind of reminding them or showing them how to be more compassionate or thoughtful. And then we have some cards from my handmade oracle deck with my handmade paper. I made this paper, so that's why it looks rather interesting. It's also falling apart because these rose petals don't want to stay on. Yeah, some of you might get roses because that's the second time I've mentioned roses in this reading. So we have, you ground yourself through more light. And gratitude always. And that came in the previous pile as well. So your person may have started like a habit of being grateful, of being in an attitude of gratitude. But also grounding yourself through more light. They might need some grounding when you first meet them. And even though they're used to being a very grounding person, they may have been a bit out of balance. And likewise, I feel like you can also learn how to ground yourself more. There's definitely going to be, you might start working with energy and doing light work, even if you don't already. Just because I feel like, especially if meditation isn't enough in the beginning, you might start going deeper into intuitive skills and things that have to do with energy. Just something that's coming through. I'm seeing this more as things that you learn in this connection. But that is all I have for you. Doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Today, pile 2, thank you so much for letting me read your cards for you and for letting me read your energy. Let me know if any of this. Hello there, pile 3. If you chose the rose quartz, then we have your reading here for you today about your person and what kind of partner they would be in a romantic connection. So we're going to start with the rose quartz here, and already I'm feeling somebody who is very loving, very open heart chakra, but also rather they're a very attractive person, or they have a lot of charm to the point that a lot of people find them attractive if they're not a conventionally attractive person. But let's start with the oracles to see what kind of person your person is as a partner, and then we're going to dive into the tarot to see how they relate to you and maybe others as well in a connection. But let's start with your oracle card that you chose. We have Swan, Grace. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. Yeah, what was I saying about that beauty that they have, or charm? This is regardless of what gender they identify as. They're just an attractive person. But let's move on with your oracles. We also have Vesta, the hearth. We have Uranus, change. We have miracles. We also have calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation. And karmic relationship. This connection serves as a catalyst to prepare you for real and high vibrational love. You are feeling very pulled to this person, therefore it appears to be the real thing, but it's not. Integrate the lessons that need to be learned. So don't worry about this card. I'm hearing that they may have just come out of a karmic connection, or for some of you, it might be a karmic connection, but I don't think it's more fated than anything. I'm not sensing anything crazy here, but I was feeling what it said about feeling pulled to this person, especially with the Swan card here, the Grace card. You may be very magnetically drawn to them, and it's not just the beauty, though for some of you that may be the only thing that you're acknowledging is pulling you to them. I feel like it's a lot more than that, and let me say why. Because I was talking about an unconventional beauty with Uranus here. Uranus is a planet of the unconventional change, yes, but also kind of the unexpected. So they're definitely somebody who looks very unique for wherever they are. So, and this will mean different things to different people. Their appearance is definitely very unique, but also very beautiful. So they may be like one of the few people around in your area that has maybe darker skin or lighter hair or colorful eyes. Again, this will depend on where you live and what is the norm where you are. I live in the US, so we have a little bit of everything here in the United States, because we have all kinds of ethnic backgrounds. But let's say you don't live somewhere like that. It might be like, for example, if I lived in Mexico and I saw somebody that was, you know, light hair, light eyes, not Mexico City, which I know has a lot of different people now, more like anywhere else in Mexico. And if they had that would be a unique beauty. But regardless of what they look like I said, they're very different, even if just to you. Maybe there's somebody you don't typically go for. I really feel like there's definitely a sense of soulmate here. Like I'm getting like a soul connection, a karmic connection for sure. But I feel like this person may be very aware of karmic connections. Maybe they just came out of one, and because of that, they're a little bit wounded. Because I am feeling somebody who's very beautiful, but they kind of don't want to rush into a connection right now. And regardless, I feel like you're still very drawn to them, pile 3, because you sense this illuminating beauty of them. Because even this lady, just the way she shines and radiates, she embodies beauty, regardless of the horns. Because I know those horns would be very off-putting to anybody else, but because of this radiant glow and the dress and the hair, you know, there's just something very beautiful about her. This is regardless of what they identify as, what their gender is. This is very much somebody who is just beautiful. With calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation, this is why I'm thinking they just came out of a karmic connection, because I'm seeing somebody who is very much healing themselves emotionally and romantically from something, especially with Vesta, the hearth. Sorry, I said heart, but I meant hearth, because Vesta is the goddess of the hearth, the home, and the place. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit of hermit energy from them, but not quite. I feel like they still invite people into their home. They're still very much out and about and being their radiant, beautiful selves, but they're focusing more on their internal self. Because if you were to take the home and see it as a reflection of your soul, this is what they are focusing on. With Uranus change, again, they have just come out of something that kind of shook them up, of a change. And with miracles here, I feel like they're finding miracles in everyday life. I really feel like this person, they're healing. They're very beautiful, but they are healing. And they definitely have this magnetic quality to them. For some of you, I feel like you might feel this is you, and that you might be mirroring this. And maybe this is why we get this karmic relationship as well. Because I'm not reading it appears to be real, the real thing, but it's not. I'm not taking that. It's more like, they came out of this, but they're still very wounded. So they may not know whether this connection, should you decide to go into it, may be real or not, if that makes any sense. I feel like their perception on love and connections may have been very skewed by the very last connection they were in, because it definitely left them very wounded. I'm also noticing that both, well, their eyes are open, but they're not the lady's eyes here are closed. So this person might have their eyes closed as well. Like they kind of don't really care for a love connection right now, but they do want love. With the swans here, the swans, to me at least, signify commitment, marriage, connection, like the two swans that you see on a wedding cake, if that makes any sense. With miracles here, I really do feel like I'm hearing that they feel it's kind of a miracle that they've met you. Because I feel like for some of you, this might be somebody you already talked to or that you're a friend to. Because when I'm tapping into the energy for you, it's actually very different. But we'll get into that in the tarot. Let's focus a little bit more on your person here before we get into that. Because remember, this is purple, so I am getting somebody who's very intuitive, somebody who may be learning how to heal themselves on every aspect, not just physical, but also mental and emotional and spiritual. They may have come from a physically abusive connection or an emotionally abusive, because I am getting a little bit of that kind of energy. So something where they were definitely hurt somehow. With I've noticed in all of these cards, well, at least these three cards, there's a bit of a rainbow, and I take the rainbow to mean two things. You can take either or both if it fits. This could be an LGBTQ connection, or it could be somebody who is learning to realign all their chakras, so that, because every chakra has a color that it resonates with, and if they're all in alignment, you see a rainbow essentially. This is true like when I channel and I'm like really into it, like fully connected, I'll see like an aura of rainbow on my peripheral vision. This may be true for either them or you as well, pile 3, because I am getting the sense that the both of you do a lot of energy work and that you're intuitive. I'm also noticing a lot of blue, so a lot of communication is already happening between you and this person. It's almost like you have a lot to say, especially emanating from their hands. This person might have a blue aura, whatever that may mean, because auras don't necessarily correlate with the chakras sometimes. Sometimes that's just the energy that they emanate. And sometimes auras are not chakras, if that makes any sense. The aura color can mean anything. I don't know why that's coming through, but I guess this will resonate. This will make more sense. So don't think because you see a blue aura that it necessarily means communication. Well, so they might be an Aquarius, or they may have a very strong Uranus. And I'm saying very strong Uranus again because they're a little, they're just a little bit, I don't want to say odd or weird, but they're definitely not conventional. They definitely don't mind being unique and different from everybody else. This is something that is coming through, and I think it's just part of what makes them so physically attractive and beautiful, that they don't fall into like what everybody else wears or what everybody else does to keep themselves the way they are. They very much abide by their own rules. If there are rules out there, they're not afraid of breaking them because that doesn't pertain to them as the person they are as an individual. I really do feel like you're also very attracted to their mind, because Uranus can be the planet of intellectual thinking, but also ingenious thinking. Like they might develop their own programs or systems in place that are just kind of very unique and rather genius, if that makes sense. They could be like a computer engineer or a software programmer, software engineer, computer programmer. I think I mixed those two up. They might work in tech. That's what's coming through. But they might also just have a job that allows them to work from home on a computer or even through the internet. Whatever resonates, especially with Vesta here, because I do feel like they're a bit of a homebody, but they're not a hermit, if that makes sense. So some numbers that are coming through, we have 3. Somebody could be a life path 3. We have 25 and 32. Somebody could be 25 and or 32. Or the years, these 2 years, like between 25 and 32, were of big importance to this person. Like maybe this is when that karmic connection was taking place. Or these could be the ages you are when you met. Somebody could be a life path 7 because 2 plus 5 reduces to 7 in numerology. And 3 plus 2 reduces to 5 in numerology. So we also have life path 5. And yeah, I feel like they're very elegant, and they definitely have a lot of wisdom to them. I just can't help but picturing your person as this lady here. Even if they're not a lady, they might still have a very similar vibe with the... And it's funny that the light coming out of their hands is blue, so they might be a light worker. And maybe the light around them is very much blue. But either way, let's move on to the tarot to see how your person would be as a partner to you, should you decide to get into a partnership, into a romantic relationship specifically. I'm going to use the Prism Tarot. So we have the 3 of Wands, the journey. We have the 3 of Swords, heartbreak. We also have the 10 of Swords, endings. We have 14, Temperance, just breathe. And we have the Lovers, duality. It's interesting that the Temperance in this tarot deck looks like the 2 of Cups as well. Because I know there's 2 Cups in Temperance, but this specifically is reminding me of 2 of Cups, especially next to the Lovers. And the back of the deck, we have King of Swords, intellect. And I was talking about somebody who is a genius. So I really do feel like they might be an air sign. And we were getting Aquarius with Uranus as well. So definitely an air sign, a lot of air sign vibes here. So that could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But I am leaning more towards Aquarius. And then to clarify the Prism Tarot, we have, to clarify, the 3 of Wands. The Queen of Swords. Oh, this is lovely when the King and the Queen of Swords come together. To clarify the 3 of Swords, we have Justice. To clarify the 10 of Swords, we have 10 of Cups. Wow. And to clarify Temperance, we have the Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles. And to clarify the Lovers, we have the 7 of Swords. Back of the deck energy is still King of Swords. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So if there's one thing that's coming through already in this reading, pile 3, before even getting into the tarot, is that this person has a pattern of cycles. Or, well, yeah, they have a pattern when it comes to their relationships. And frankly, if they don't heal it, it's just going to repeat itself with you, if that makes any sense. Especially because with the 3 of Swords here, the 10 of Swords, I feel like they're just really recovering from their last connection. And not only that, but there's just a pattern that has come up, not just in that connection, which they are pretty sure was karmic, but there's several before that one. Well, not several. There might be 1 or 2 before that one. Again, this depends on your person. It could also depend on how old they are and whomever they may be. There's been a pattern in their connections where things just don't work out, or where something karmic comes into their life. And there is a chance they could break it with you, but the thing is, you would want them to be fully healed before you go into this connection, so that it doesn't keep repeating itself. Because I'm seeing somebody who wants to fully heal before they take on a connection with anybody else. So if you're already in a connection with this person, just do be aware of that, and maybe try to work it out together if it's something that is possible to be done. If not, give them the time they need. As magnetic as they are, as beautiful as they are, as amazing as they are, you need to give them their time to break this pattern. Because this is their energy that I'm reading. Because and maybe for some of you as well, because I am getting 3 twice here, so maybe this message is also the same for my pile 3s. If you see certain patterns in your connections, that keep happening, maybe it's time for you to break those patterns as well, to just, you know, look at them. And depending on how you get rid of your blockages, some people do spellcraft, some people do energetic healing, and some people just how do I say this? Some people just will them away. Not everybody has that kind of ability, but some people just will them away. I do energy work personally, but there has to be some healing before this, if this connection is to be successful, and if this connection is to be beneficial to the both of you, is what I'm hearing. But let's get on with the tarot. With the Three of Wands and the Journey and the Queen of Swords, this is what I mean with the journey. It's almost like there's this journey of love that they feel they have to take. And with the Queen of Swords, I feel, whether this is your person or you, there is a sense of logic coming in saying that, well, this has to stop, especially because she has the sword, the Queen of Swords. She can clear through the clutter, the mental clutter, clear through the fog. It's trying to set things right by thinking more clearly. With the Three of Swords, heartbreak and justice, again, we're wanting to reset, well, not reset, we're wanting to balance this sense of heartbreak with a sense of love can be a good thing, because I really am feeling that your person might be giving up on love quite a bit. Like, it's definitely not their focus right now. They're healing and they're focusing on other things, but there might also be questioning whether they even want anybody in their life or not. It's kind of like, well, there's nothing wrong with being, you know, they used to call them confirmed bachelors or bachelorettes. Whether there's anything wrong with just being alone here. But also notice that this guy in the Justice card also has a sword. So there could be some, if they do work with energy, some cord cutting going on, cutting ties with other people as well. But they really still are in the sense of heartbreak. And if they were to enter in a connection with you right now at this moment, they would still be healing from this. And I don't think that's fair to either you or your person, pile 3. With the 10 of Swords endings and the 10 of Cups, it's weird that these two come together, because they are both 10, but one is endings and one is like this fruitful, successful family and emotionally fulfilling family life. So the thing that has to end is this loop of karmic cycles for your person, possibly even you. What I'm saying is, don't become a part of that karmic cycle. And I'm saying this to not to discourage you, more to just be very honest about what is going on. Should you decide to enter a connection with this person at this moment, at this very current stage, they might still be too hurt from their past, whatever that may have been. But there is a potential to have a very happy ending with this person, to have a fruitful connection. Because I do feel like they sense a lot of happiness with you. With Temperance, Just Breathe, and the Ace of Coins, I was talking how this looks a little bit like the Two of Cups. But with Temperance, we're talking about setting everything in balance. And that's what I meant to say instead of the Justice card. Though the Justice card can also be balanced because we do have the scales. But setting everything in balance, Just Breathe, and the Ace of Coins, I feel like once all of this has been dealt with, which is, it's not right now, it's still very much in the middle of it, or like towards the end, but still very, very strong. There's going to be beautiful things being planted, because the Ace of Coins is a seed, and this is very much, this is the myth of Jack and the Beanstalk. And I don't know why that's coming through, or that it's weird that I even remembered that. But this is a seed. This is the bean, quote, quote, that can grow into this stalk, and it can lead you up into the clouds. And we're going to ignore that there's like, what is it? The giants up in the clouds or whatever. It's like you want to be able to grow this beanstalk so that you can ascend into living this beautiful life here, which does look a little bit like what you would see in the clouds, a heaven-like scenery of joy and happiness. But just breathe. I'm feeling like this is a message for you, pile 3. It's like, if this connection is meant for you, it won't pass you by. This person will still be there when they're ready, and even when you're ready. And I feel like both of you have this sense of urgency, but the truth is, you don't have to worry. love will come to you when it's ready. And I think you'd rather have it when it's going to be the most amazing, as opposed to, you know, whenever you want it, which may not be the right time. Because if you were to enter this connection, there'd be a lot of like breaking up and getting back together, breaking up and getting back together, or maybe lots of arguments. And it's almost like it's preventing from either of you, mostly your person, but it could also be you, from fully healing. With the Lover's card and the Seven of Swords here, duality. Again, this Seven of Swords is lies. It can be anxiety. It could be theft. It could also be, I forget what this deck calls it, but it's definitely not great things happening. I'm seeing it more as anxieties and lies. I feel like your person may end up accusing you of a lot of things that you don't do just because of those traumas from that past connection. But with the Lovers here, I really do feel like there is a potential for a connection, because we have Temperance, Lovers, the Ten of Cups, and even the Kings, well, the King and the Queen of Swords. Like, there is potential for this connection. Your person definitely appreciates you and adores you as you are, but it is not quite the time yet. When that will be, I feel like we'll have to look into the advice cards for that. But let's look at the numbers. I feel like this might give us something. We have 3, 3. We have 3 twice. So somebody could be a master number 33, which would also be a 6, but I'm a life path 33. Sorry, I said master number. I meant life path number 33. I think master number is a different thing. Sorry, numerology folks, correct me if I'm wrong. But somebody could be a life path 33, which is also a 6, which is the Lovers, and that's the number of connections, specifically one-on-one connections and relationships. We also have 10 twice as well, with the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. We have 14, 7, 1. So March 10th might be of importance, or October 3rd. In fact, I think when I post this, it might be October 3rd, or the 2nd. I can't remember. But also don't take me up on that. I could end up releasing this like way further along. But October 3rd could be an important number. Likewise, the 14th of any month could be an important number. Somebody could also be a life path 5. 1 plus 4 reduces to 5. Or 6, as I already said. Or even just 3. But the overall feeling I'm getting... Oh, and 9 with just... No. 11 with Justice. But the overall feeling I'm getting here that yes, there is potential in this connection. It's just... There's a lot to work through. The heartbreak and ending. This feeling of I'm hearing these boots are made for walking. Like, there's definitely still much in that I just broke up with somebody and I don't want to deal with them, and or I'm better off just being alone kind of energy. With the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, I really do feel like they're relying a lot on their intellect and their logic right now, because you notice there's not a lot of cups here. There is the 10 of Cups, but that's about it. And because there's so much in their mind, I really do feel like there's a bit of an anxiety and or I don't want to say depression, but definitely some mental health issues going on there. So like I said, they're not going to be at their very best should you decide to pursue this connection. Just give it some time. I'm definitely hearing 10. That could be 10 weeks, 10 months. Not 10 days, that's too soon. Also 14. So maybe 14 months. And if it takes a whole year, like I said, what is meant for you will not pass you up. And likewise, just because you feel very pulled to somebody doesn't necessarily mean they are for you. But take whichever resonates. I think you know pile 3, especially because your number keeps popping up here, 3 and 3. You know whether this person is meant for you or not. And I think you know, you should know. If somebody is not ready for something, you can't force them into it. Because I understand the draw, the pull, maybe even the chemistry there with the Lovers and the 10 of Cups. That there is very much potential to be in a very happy union, but it is not the time. But let's move on to the advice before I keep repeating myself, because that's just the main message that is coming through, and I hate to disappoint, but I'm also not here to, you know, give you any false hope. So we have affirmators. What advice can we give to pile 3 about them and their person? We have boundless love. Today I'll open my eyes a little wider and walk a little taller, noticing that the world around me is filled with tiny miracles. With this in mind, it's easy to fall in love over and over again, with everything from honeybees to neon signs. And while I'm feeling this inspired and this in love, everything else sort of falls into place. I'm feeling that opening that heart chakra and loving everything else around you, including yourself, including your person, but not, you know, totally falling head over heels. Just sending love to everybody and everything around you. That energy of love is going to definitely help you gain more perspective on this. And we also have teamwork. I'm determined to be a good teammate in all of my relationships. If we disagree, I'll resist the urge to place blame and look for a way to solve the problem together. When we're a team, everything's a game. And when we're on the same side, nobody can lose. Not even the Cubs, finally. Some of you may be from Chicago. I'm pretty sure that's the Cubs they're talking about. Or Chicago could be of importance to you. I was born in Chicago, so... but I don't get the sports, not since, anyway, but yeah, I feel like, especially if this is somebody you already work with somehow, or if they're like a friend or part of your community, you know that just having them around, you'll be able to like really just enjoy them as a friend, as a person. Like, don't worry about being in a connection with them. Of course, you won't get intimate and you won't, deal with any of that, but with teamwork, I'm really hearing just enjoy the friendship while it's there. And with boundless love, again, don't be afraid to maybe even date somebody else if you want to date somebody else. You know, it may... Love waits for nobody is what I'm hearing. So even if you are meant to have a great connection with this person, if they're not ready, or if they're not ever going to be ready, or if they're not going to heal, because there is a chance they might just keep repeating their patterns, then it's not for you, because you're meant to have things that are ready and willing to be with you, pile 3. So from my handmade oracle, we have... Okay, that's in Spanish. I'm not putting it there. Some of you may speak Spanish. We have, I'm grateful for the love. There's a lot of love in this connection already, but I really do feel like it's more friendship than anything. And we also have surrender. I'm taking this a few ways. If this was a message for your person, it'd be to like surrender that card. Sorry for the cut, pile 3, but I ran out of battery. But yeah, I'm taking surrender as 2 ways. One is for your person to surrender that karmic cycle or the karmic ties that they still have to their former connections, or connections that maybe they're just having a hard time letting go of, whether that's mentally, because even though they may have left the person and definitely do not want to be in that connection anymore, I'm still feeling like they still hold a grudge or negative emotions pertaining to that person, that place, the feeling, whatever went on, whatever it might be. But I'm also hearing specifically for you, pile 3, to surrender this connection. Like, just let it go for a minute, energetically. Let it go. Let it stop taking your power. Let it stop having a hold of you. That makes sense. Don't let it have a hold on you, because I do feel like you could get a little bit warped up in this because the connection is so magnetic, because you find yourself so drawn to your person. I feel like you both need to surrender your expectations as well as whatever grudges you have, and as well as whatever grudges you may have, pile 3. I made these, I want to say 2 years ago, maybe 3 now. And it's funny that I drew these little curly Q line thingies. It was meant to be a heart, but it also looks like threads. So maybe do some cord cutting, maybe, especially if you believe in like the red line of fate, let those go. If it's truly meant to be, it'll happen. And if it's not, it won't. But with I'm grateful for the love, there is a sense of gratitude in your person knowing you for sure, and they appreciate the support that you have provided and that you continue to provide for them as well. And likewise, I can tell that you are very grateful to have known somebody like them, or to know somebody. I keep saying this in the past because there is a chance some of you may just honestly move on from this person, or they may be taken out of your life. And for some, I just feel like you're gonna kind of let the idea of being with them go, especially because if what has gone on in this reading isn't resonating with you, or it's not resonating with your expectation, I really do feel some of you are just going to step back a bit from this until your person is ready, should you want to be with your person when they are ready. But yeah, there's a lot of love here. Whether it's going to be a fulfilling connection or not, it's still to be determined in the future, because right now there's too much to work through. But this is where I leave you, my dear pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and let me know if any of this resonates. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hello there, pile 4. If you chose garnierite, then we have a reading here for you about your person and what kind of partner they would be. And we're going to start with this garnierite palm stone. Right away, I'm feeling a lot of heart chakra energy. Also, a very calming presence, something very soothing. It's quite interesting. It's very calm, very chill for some of you. But let's move on with your oracles. So we're going to start with the oracles to get a feel of how your person is. And then we're going to dig into the tarot to see how they were going to relate to you as a person. And to start off with your card, we have Penguin, Authentic. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Let me hold this up for you. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. So your person is definitely somebody who is very real. They're very much themselves. And just like I was saying, that calm, chill vibe, not a lot of things bother them. But that's part of their uniqueness. And maybe it's because they have a very supporting family behind them, or they want to cultivate this within their life. But let's move on with the oracles. We have Saturn, structure. I was getting a little bit of Saturn vibes there. And debilitated, discomfort. We also have adventures. Idyllic times, the garden, paradise. They had the most cards out of everybody in this reading. Shamanic energy, purpose, attunement, vision, and quest. And we make space here for one. Well, those are all in the shot. And then we have soulmate. Yes, this person is your soulmate. There is a strong spiritual bond between you and this person. This card also pertains to new friendships with kindred souls and attracting the right people. I get the feeling that your person is actually very open to the idea of soulmates, or at the very least the idea that they are meant to meet certain people in their lives for certain reasons. Not necessarily to say that they are very spiritual, but they are very much down with that mentality. And I don't know why I phrased it that way. That might be just one of the ways that they speak. Because again, I'm getting a very, very chill vibe. Also somebody who is very aligned with their purpose. I get the feeling that if they are spiritual, it's at a very, I'm saying base level, not to say that it's not important or that they're like a beginner, but it's more like they're aware that it's a thing and they very much accept spirituality or certain aspects of spirituality when they know it makes sense to them, if that makes any sense. I am getting, surprisingly, some strong masculine energy, and this is regardless of what they identify as. I am getting quite a bit of positive masculinity, as opposed to healthy masculinity, as opposed to like toxic masculinity. We have healthy here, especially with the penguins, because the penguins are one of those animals where the father figure actually plays a very supportive role in child rearing. They take care of the egg while the mother goes off and does something else. I think they go somewhere warmer. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know much about penguins, even though I did watch March of the Penguins and even Happy Feet. Just Just let me know if you're a penguin expert and know more. But I do know that the fathers take care of the egg. So this would be, for example, if they are a man, they wouldn't mind being like a stay-at-home dad. Or if they're a woman and they're still very much like a stay-at-home mom, they have a very chill attitude about it. They're not going to, both parents are not going to try and pass down gender roles. That specifically is coming through. They're also not going to let their partner have all the responsibility. They are very much a team player. This is just part of them being their authentic self. They know that life is hard. They know that life is full of, crazy stuff out there. So why would they try to make it harder for anybody else? With Saturn, I am getting some Capricorn vibes here, but anybody with a prominent Saturn as well is coming through. This is somebody who, yes, has structure in their life, but is also very disciplined, also very realistic. And there's even a sense of ambition within them. Even though they may not appear that way on the outside, they do have an ambitious streak, or they may be a very hard worker, or work smart, not hard. A very smart worker is another thing that's coming through. With debilitated discomfort, I'm pretty sure there has been a point in time where your person has had their downs. They've definitely been down for quite a while. And I'm not quite sure when this was. They could have been 14. They could have been 24, just because those numbers are there. Or it could have been for like maybe a decade of their life that they were this way. So they're very... I feel like they've learned a lot through this process. Whatever it was that debilitated them, whatever it was that was keeping them in that energy of stuckness or not being able to move, they're no longer there. But the impact that energy had on them is what has made them the person they are today. So they've been through it, and they've been able to overcome this and become a better person because of it. And they're very open and willing to even speak about this. They don't mind. They don't feel any shame towards that. In fact, when they meet people that are going through similar things, they don't mind, retelling their story or relating to the people around them. With adventures, there is a bit of an adventurous spirit. I am getting somebody who doesn't mind traveling a lot. Like they kind of like to travel, and they find like the beauty in several places around the world, or they do want to travel. They would very much like to, but only because they understand that there is a similarity to everybody in the world. Like, doesn't matter where you go, you're going to have, families, there's going to be kids, there's going to be places where everybody hangs out, there's going to be good food. They understand that we're all connected somehow, that there's very much a sense of connectedness to them that allows them to be a great person to be, you can relate to them, essentially. You can relate to them rather well, and they can relate to other people. Even if they don't speak the language, or even if they don't get all the customs, they understand the concept of a custom, and that just sometimes you do things to respect the culture, is what I'm hearing. So if you also like to travel, this is someone you can travel with. You can take them anywhere. They're not going to embarrass you when you go somewhere and they ask for, I don't know, for example, you go to Italy and ask for pasta Alfredo when that's not actually a thing in Italy. Or if it is, it's for like a touristy reason. They're not going to embarrass you culture-wise. They're not like that, which is good because, well, if you know, you know. With idyllic times here, the garden paradise, they are very much in a very zen energy, or they can get there very easily, and they very much value this. I feel like this person, your person that you're thinking about, values their peace quite a bit, because they have been in this energy of being debilitated, because they're just very understanding, very empathic too, but not so much that they allowed themselves to take on other people's energy. They just know how to feel them out, essentially. Yeah, very chill vibes from this person. I feel like they'd be a very great friend. And they may actually already be a friend to you as well, pile 4. And with the owl here, very wise. Yeah, definitely a wise person coming through here, despite their age, whether they are young or old, because I'm getting both energies actually, so they could honestly be of any age. They are a very wise and chill person. With shamanic journey, purpose, attunement, and vision quest, again, here's that sense of purpose. Here is that person that's got an ambition. Whatever those ambitions may be, they probably change or shift from time to time. Sometimes it may be money, it may be their career, and sometimes it may be like a family. Maybe they want to start a family, maybe they want to travel as well. But it's always something that they feel the need to reach for, just to keep them from being so lethargic. I feel like they can get sidetracked and a little aimless from time to time, and they themselves are aware of this. This isn't even me throwing shade at them. It's more like they're aware that if they don't have a certain amount of structure, they can just kind of go off the rails. So they make it a point to be very disciplined and have structure in their lives so that they don't fall into the trap of not getting anywhere in life. Maybe they've also seen this like within their friends or family, and they want to avoid this at all costs. And with soulmate, again, they do believe in the concept of soulmate. It's nothing super crazy profound to them. It's more like, yeah, I was meant to meet this person for this reason. And I'm pretty sure they mean it for friends, family, as well as their partners as well. So, and as far as you, especially if you already are in a connection, if you are friends, I'm pretty sure they are aware that they were meant to meet you as well. Like, they could sense that energy right off the bat from you, pile 4. Especially if you yourself are also very intuitive and very high vibrational. They kind of sensed that, they felt that when they met you. So it's a very, I'm hearing that they really like you as a friend and as a person. And if you wanted to give this a try, they would be very open, as long as, you know, the first few dates or the first few hangouts. I don't think they really do dates, but they do like to hang out specifically with one person. So maybe labels is a weird thing for them, but essentially dates, yeah. If the first few dates were fine, they would definitely consider a connection with you. But I'm also hearing that getting them to be in a connection, like a committed relationship, is kind of difficult because they are so wary of their peace. They will want to make sure. It would take them possibly months before they actually committed to you and made you a person. And even then, it would be like every year or so they would want to revisit how you are both feeling about this connection and whether it still feels like it's going to go, you know, the long distance. Because even though I do see them wanting a family in their future, I'm not sure if I sense commitment right away. And this could be due to how they've seen marriages play out, whether it's with their own parents, their friends, family, etc. Or just how marriages are in general. I mean, everybody sees people get divorced all the time, even to people they thought they were going to be with forever. So they do want a family. So if you're somebody who's open to just having kids with somebody and maybe the commitment is optional, this would be somebody like that. But they are also not, they are still open to commitment. It may just take them a bit longer to get there. And that's just for their own self-preservation. That's not to be selfish or to hold out on you. This is just them wanting their peace and your peace as well. But yeah, very chill vibes. I already mentioned Capricorn energy here. They might be year of the horse because we do have a horse here. What else is coming through? Lots of birds. We have both penguin and I think these are pigeons, little love pigeons, I guess. They couldn't find doves, but this is also Paris. Maybe Paris is somewhere they want to go, since they do have this adventurous spirit. I'm also hearing they just kind of like doing whatever and whatever. Like, they might be the kind of person who likes to go out for food at like 1 in the morning after a long day or something. So especially street food. I'm hearing like a taco truck or like street, especially if you're somewhere in the world where they still have like food stands, street food stands in the streets. They're that kind of person. Where I live, they don't have that, but where my family is from, Mexico, they definitely have that. I'm also hearing like Seoul, South Korea, because that place is kind of known for like their street food. So any of that kind of stuff, I feel they might be like food adventurers. Maybe one of their weird little things is that they want to kind of travel the world just to taste some of the best food. Maybe they've been watching the Food Network a little too much, or they did when they were younger, or just watch food shows in general. Numbers that are coming through: 24, 14, 48, and 23. So I feel like 23 and 24 are some important years for them. Maybe the age 14 as well. And 48, I'm not sure if some of them are 48. If they are, that is an important year. If not, that may be an important year. Somebody may be a life path. 4, because 4 is coming up a lot. But also 5, 6, and 5 again. And what is this reduced down to? 3? Yeah, because 4 plus 8 is 12, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So 48 reduces to 3 in numerology. So if any of those numbers resonated, there they are. What else can I get from this pile? They're just very fun. Like, this energy is very chill, very fun. I feel like these would be one of my friends, and we could just go out and do anything. And likewise, maybe you, if you are friends with this person, you could like do anything chill, whether it's platonic or romantic, they're okay with it. And I don't know. Let's see how they would be as a romantic partner for you. Pile 4, because this is very interesting energy. It is very good energy as well, and I feel like they do anything at all costs to protect that, to protect their peace. I keep hearing. But we have the Prism Tarot to see how your person would be as a partner to you. We have the 7 of Pentacles, achievement, the 9 of Pentacles, abundance. We also have the Empress, receive. Oh, we got 2 cards. The 4 of Cups, contemplation. Yeah, I was getting this a lot from them, but not in a bad way. The Princess of Lightning, adventure. This is the Knight of Wands. I was just making sure that that's what apprentice was. It tells me on the box. Yes, the Knight of the Knight of Wands. And one more card, because these are technically together. And the 4 of Pentacles. 4 is definitely a number here, because that was coming through a lot in the oracles. And back of the deck energy. Does it even fit? Yeah, okay. The Moon. Yeah, they're a night person. I'm getting night owl vibes from them with the Moon. Maybe a little bit of shadow work. But I don't think they actively know they're doing shadow work. They just kind of do it. To clarify the 7 of Pentacles, we have the Page of Swords. To clarify the 9 of Pentacles, we have 5 of Wands, sorry. To clarify the Empress, we have 7 of Pentacles again. To clarify the the 4 of Cups, we have the Page of Wands. Actually, this is for both of them. This is corresponding with the Knight of Wands as well. And to clarify the 4 of Pentacles, we have the 10 of Wands. Back of the deck energy, just because it resonates. It's the Empress again. Some of them might be of Mexican heritage or ancestry, because this is La Virgen, or Hispanic or Latino in general. I think it's Latin America specifically, like Mexico and neighboring countries below it that have La Virgen de Guadalupe. I forget what they call her in English, but you know, either way, Empress is resonating here, and we'll see why in a minute. But with 7 of Pentacles, this person is the harder worker, smart worker. Sorry, they believe in working smart, not hard, but they definitely put a lot of emphasis on their work, and they may just not show it. I feel like they are, on the outside they appear calm, but on the inside they're thinking of a million ways to make more money, or to make things more efficient, or to work a lot better. And I feel like a lot of this comes through in their meditation. And likewise, I feel like when relating to you here with the Page of Swords, because this is how they see you. They see you as somebody very different and unique. I feel like you really bring a lot of interesting thoughts and interesting beliefs into their life, especially since I get the feeling you both meditate or do something similar. It's like they think a lot about what you say and the energy that you bring. And likewise, in a connection together, they will be thinking a lot about how to make this connection work, thrive, how to do things better. And this isn't an 18+ reading, but if we were to get into the 18+ details, they would also put a lot of thought into that as well. And that's a very good trait to have, pile 4. With the 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands, there is definitely a lot of abundance, but I also feel like it's all play to them. Because even though this is a card of struggle and fighting, I'm seeing them having quite a bit of fun. They don't mind a challenge. They actually think it's really fun. So if something is hard or challenging, they take it up with a lot of fun. I'm getting Dragon Ball now, kind of how Goku sees somebody who's challenging or somebody who's really strong, and he's like, yeah, I want to fight that guy. Maybe Dragon Ball's also a thing for this person, who knows, or you, pile 4. But I'm seeing somebody who is very much up for a challenge, and relation to your connection, they wouldn't mind not that you're a challenge, but they wouldn't mind certain challenging aspects of this relationship. It would be like, well, how can we make that better? Or if you bring problems to them, they're like, okay, how can I improve that? Or how can I solve them? They're very much a problem solver. They're not going to be somebody who, well, they're going to listen sympathetically and, you know, hear you out, but that's not going to stop them from being able to provide a solution. So if they're already not that kind of person who like can decipher whether you want a solution or whether you just want to be heard, that might be something you have to establish in this connection. But I don't feel like there's going to be any complaints from you for that, pile 4. Especially if you already are friends, this might be something you already deal with. With the Empress, Receive, and the 7 of Coins, the Empress here is you, pile 4, and I get the feeling they definitely have already thought about putting you in quote wifey material. I don't know why I'm hearing that specifically, because I did hear in the beginning that marriage is something you're not going to enter into lightly, but here they're thinking of you as quote wifey material. So there's definitely something there, especially with the 7 of Coins here. This is something that's going to take quite a while. This is progress. 7 of Coins, or sorry, Pentacles, can be achievement, but it's also the work you put into something. And in this case, it's going to be this connection. It's going to be this relationship. So again, if you do decide to end up being together for the long haul, it's going to be a while, but they definitely see you as somebody who could very much potentially be this way. So this is interesting. With the 4 of Cups and the Knight of Wands, this is somebody who really, really thinks a lot before they take action. And I mean, probably a lot longer than you would like, pile 4. And I'm not saying it's going to be forever, but I mean, just look at all the Pentacles here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in Pentacles, which outweighs everything else, except maybe Wands. But they definitely think about their actions through, like, very thoroughly. And it may take them, and even though they do take action with these Wands cards, it's just a lot of thought. And everything is taken action with in a very methodical way, with a lot of intention, because they know once they do something, it's going to be very, it's not going to be as easy to undo, if that makes any sense. So they put a lot of thought into the things they do, and even into the things they say. They may be a little bit of a slow talker, or I don't want to say slow thinker, but they think things through very thoroughly, including how to pronounce words, because I had to enunciate that very, very well. Maybe they have a weird way of speaking. Not weird. A very precise way of speaking. Maybe to them, being able to speak clearly is a thing for whatever reason. Some of them may speak more than one language. Maybe that's why. And they're kind of aware of accents, and they want to make it a point to not have their accent get in the way of being able to communicate. That was coming through. That's not in these cards. That was just coming through because I did mention a different heritage with this. But anyway, the 4 of Cups and the Knight of Wands. I am getting somebody. I did get Capricorn in the beginning, but I'm also getting a little bit of fire energy. So that could be Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. With the Page of Wands, again, they're not afraid of starting something new, but they're going to be thinking about it for a while, because the 4 of Cups is holding on to something. Contemplation here, I think, is the best word for it. Thinking something thoroughly. And I think in a lot of tarot decks, the 4 of Cups can be like overthinking or being stuck emotionally on something. In this case, I feel like it's just a lot of thought. A lot of thought goes into the things they do. With the 4 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands, again, they just place a lot of value in their peace, in this case, security, and they don't want to lose the things that they have worked so hard for. There is a sense there that they want to guard everything that brings joy to their life. And this will also be the case with you, should you decide to enter in a connection and find it to be a connection that is very, very fruitful. I'm hearing a connection that is very joyful. They want something that is going to work. With the 10 of Wands here, they're aware that relationships can sometimes be a burden, and they wouldn't want to enter into this if it wasn't going to work out, or if this connection somehow put their security or their peace at risk. But I don't really feel that from you, pile 4. I almost said pile 1, so maybe some of you resonated with pile 1. But yeah, I'm just getting somebody who you'll be in a connection with, and they'll adore you. They will definitely think of you a lot and put you first, and even give you gifts, I'm hearing, especially if they are somebody who is very abundant. I get the feeling they are, but they don't really care about it. Like, it's not a big deal to them. They just, you know, kind of have that money, and they know it's there. They're not stingy with it, but they also don't, well, they want to be very smart with it, is what I'm hearing. So they don't spend, you know, they don't just spend money on a bunch of stuff, but at the same time, they're not afraid of spending money on people they like, or on things they like, or on, you know, good causes. Again, a lot of thought goes into that money that they spend as well, because they work so hard to get it. But yeah, if you're somebody who threatens anything that brings them joy, this isn't going to work out. But I really do feel like this would benefit, especially if you are also in this higher vibration, and if you also put a lot of thought, at least as much thought as they put into you, you will be fine, because the Empress is coming out. But because the Moon also came out with shadow work, I feel like there are going to be things in this connection that really bring out your quote quote demons. But this is something that can be worked out if you're willing to work this out in a very healthy way with your person. It's going to thrive. It's going to be an okay thing, because everybody's got their baggage. Everyone's got emotional wounds or scars that they sometimes unintentionally you know, agitate. And no connection is, you know, immune to this. And in this case, I really feel like if you're willing to work through those, it's going to be fine. But if you're not willing to, then it won't. There's a lot of conditions this person sets on their potential partners, and I kind of don't blame them, because when you work so hard for everything you have, you don't want somebody to just come along and take it away from them or from you. So yeah, let's see some numbers I'm getting. 3, 7, 7. So we have 7 twice. We have 5, 4 twice as well, and 9, and oh yeah, and 10. 18, which reduces to 9. 1 plus 8 reduces to 9 in numerology. But 4 is really standing out again because of the oracle. So they might be a life path 4, or you might be a life path 4 as well, pile 4. And this is pile 4 as well. Yeah, I forgot about that. Also, the fact that a lot of green is coming out, a lot of green, a lot of pentacles, a lot of earth energy. This is somebody who's very grounded. Because even the Empress, especially in this deck, the Tarot of the Divine, she's surrounded by flowers. And I've always associated, this is the Virgin Mary, but the Hispanic version, or the Mexican version, La Virgen de Guadalupe. She's a very earthy person, very earthy goddess, if you will. To me, she's a goddess, and they do consider her a goddess to some extent in the Mexican Catholic religion. And I can't remember her origins, but I want to say Guadalupe is like somehow related to wolves. I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe it's because they also kind of like wolves, or because they're a night owl and there just happens to be a moon there. What else am I getting from my pile 4? Oh yeah, and this is an Aztec, I forget what the folktale is, but I remember this being an Aztec folktale, or Mayan, because the imagery definitely looks like that. So yeah, maybe some Latin American, possibly Mexican roots here, wherever they may be. But I'm also hearing Haitian for some. I don't know why that came through. But yeah, this is all I am getting from the tarot. So the connection can work. Just know that they have their standards, and that's fair. Everybody has their standards. I'm also hearing they kind of know their worth. Well, not kind of. They definitely know their worth. And if they ever get into a connection with somebody who's not meeting those expectations, they're not going to think twice before saying, hey, I don't think it's working. But they would let you down easily. But again, that's all up to you and how you want to approach this connection, or even if you would want to. Because sometimes I feel like we appreciate the friendships more than that we wouldn't want a romantic connection to be ruined, if that makes sense. This is definitely somebody who is really good to co-parent with, if that happens to be the case, because they would still very much support you and their children, but they wouldn't put up with the nonsense. And I feel like they would come to something that you could both agree on. That's going to be just a few of you. I know not everybody goes out of their way to find, quote, quote, a baby daddy or a baby mama. But if that resonates, take it. If not, just leave it as it is. Either way, great parent. So we're going to have some last advice from the Affirmator's Love and Relationship Oracle. We have compassion. I choose compassion over criticism. Walking a mile in other people's shoes reminds me they might be going through something tougher than I think. Like their shoes are too tight, or they're the kind of shoes that are too casual to be dressy and too dressy to be casual. Basically, I have no idea what they're dealing with privately, so I'll cut them some slack and be thankful for the shoes I've been dealt. This sounds like something your person would say. They definitely have compassion towards others, and they're aware that everybody, you know, goes through their own thing, and there's nobody to judge them for it. And one more card from my pile 4. Perfect match. Congratulations, you've gotten your and everyone else's wish. This is an auspicious sign that a healthy, authentic relationship is either here or on its way. This is the sort of relationship where you don't have to compromise, settle, sell out, or otherwise be a non-you. This is a relationship anchored in truth and love, and neither party will have to hide their farts from. Smells like a special duo. So yeah, I really do feel like there's a huge potential for compatibility here, pile 4. Again, the authenticity is coming through. And again, just because your person has a lot of standards and boundaries doesn't mean that it won't work. It's just be very aware. And I feel like you'll learn that too. And maybe you'll learn to set your own as well, pile 4. Because your person has thought things out rather thoroughly. And that's fair. Part of the reason you are attracted to this person is because they have their ish together, essentially. And likewise, I feel like they'll encourage, or they'll definitely encourage you to also have your ish together so that you can stand on your own feet. They don't mind helping you get to that point, is what I'm hearing. But let's move on. I have some, this is my own oracle deck that I've made, and it's got some love messages on it. And just messages in general. The first one we have is set your soul free. And we have 2 little birds here, which is very cute. I made this a few years ago, so I don't even know what exactly is on them. But yeah, I feel like they very much believe in setting the soul free. And likewise, I feel like when you're together, you set each other free somehow. Like certain things that were holding you back, or emotions or energies or whatever it is that you had, you just release them when you're together. Like they transmute, essentially. And let's get one more card from my lovely pile 4. There is healing in laughter. I feel like they make you laugh quite a bit. They might be funny. Or maybe you, yeah, I feel like when you're together, you just laugh a lot. Both out of releasing nervousness sometimes. I feel like they might be a nervous laugher. Or you might be a nervous laugher too, pile 4. Or you just have such a fun time. Again, this is somebody who's very chill. And I feel like the adventures you have are just something you look back on and laugh a lot on, because I feel like you're the kind of people that, a couple, that that come across some funny things in life. And really, this is beautiful, because I really do feel a very important friendship, a very valuable friendship, but it can also blossom into a beautiful connection if it isn't already, or it very much has the potential to be so. But this is all I am getting for you, my beautiful pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If any of this resonated, please let me know below in the comments. And if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Take care.